Van Dyke Mortgage Lakeshore Team presents.
I had 30 people ask me, "You okay, man? Like, are you doing all right? Like, you sick? You don't have like leukemia or something, do you?" I'm like, "No, I'm just getting in shape."
Yeah.
But then when we moved back, nobody recognized me because they all knew me when I was thin, and so like I could walk around in Montague Whitehall anonymous, which was kind of nice. But you know, it is what it is.
No, I was doing so well for a while, and I'm doing okay, but I'm starting to pack on a few pounds again. But I got to reverse it again.
Stress of the new job, that's what it is.
That and just
slave driver boss you got.
I know, just not getting to the gym as much, and not the diet. It's kind of suffered a little bit.
Dude. It really is. Billy, are we live? Are we ready?
Yeah, we're recording.
You're recording?
It's all right. We're going to.
Billy loves to get our chats in the beginning, and so. All right. Well,
Yes, sir. We are recording.
Thank you, Billy. We'll get started. Welcome to the CatchMark SportsNet podcast. We're here today with Deshaun Thrower. Deshaun, former Mr. Basketball, two-sport standout, all-star athlete, Stony Brook, Ferris State guy. Deshaun, welcome to the podcast, and we're glad to have you here.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So I'm gonna just really quickly. I want to talk a little bit about you. Give you time to just give a little bit of an introduction, what you've been doing. Talk a little bit about what's going on. So, Mike is yours, buddy.
As of right now, I'm still looking to play ball. I was actually supposed to take off and go to Russia, but some stuff ended up happening going overseas. So right now, my agent been talking to a couple teams, and I'm just waiting on that call. I really just been working out and stuff. But in the meantime, while I've been back home, I've been training kids for basketball, doing like one-on-ones and small group trainings and doing a couple team trainings and stuff. And been working on my clothing, sports brand, D1 Sportswear.
Awesome.
So,
I see you got some of that on today.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Thanks. So
Looks
yeah,
good.
got a few of the high school players and stuff been playing, and then the younger players and stuff. So I've been focused on that until I can get back playing again.
Awesome. Russia, huh?
Yeah.
I've never been to Russia.
Me either.
I saw that your Facebook post yesterday, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0.
I had trained 4 girls. I be playing a one-on-one when we.
You're not competitive, are you?
Yeah. Because if I let them win, they're gonna go around the school and
Say it, I beat Mr. Basketball.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
I can't let them win.
No.
Yeah, we had that happen in my my driveway this summer. My boys got a little bit uppity, and so I had to remind him who owned the house.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and Owen did nip me once. That little jerk. He's just slow. He's fast.
Yeah,
man.
because
So
2 of the girls, they in the 8th grade. They got Division I offers already.
really,
Yeah.
One of them sane?
Yep. So when they get school and stuff, you know, they got,
Oh,
you
yeah,
feel me?
they
they
get-
got the buzz
let
at school.
people
So
know.
I work at the middle school too. So if I let them beat me, I go to school, they gonna be telling
You
everybody.
got a brand to protect.
you do.
Yeah.
You definitely do.
Feel me?
So let's talk a little bit about like your pro basketball prospects. So Russia. Hey, I mean, have you looked at any place else going to play?
He called me like last week. Said he been talking to a team in Germany. So
That's
right
awesome.
now they trying to figure some stuff out. So hopefully that end up falling through. Hopefully I be taking off soon.
That's awesome. I lived in Germany for about 6 years. I was in the
For real?
service. Yeah, you'd love it. Germany's great. I can't vouch for Russia.
Yeah, I
don't
visited
know.
when I was at Stony Brook. You know how they take the teams over
Yeah.
there for like we went over there. We went to Germany, Italy, Venice, and it was like 2 other places I want to say. We played against the teams over there. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I want to say in the trip, low key, Germany was my least favorite.
Yeah,
but I think it might have been the place. We was in Munich.
Munich, yeah. I mean, it's like the States, right?
Yeah.
Like you go to the east side of Michigan, it's a little maybe different than the west side of Michigan.
But
So
I would say I heard a lot of good things about it, so maybe we're just in the wrong spot.
yeah. I mean, and when you live there too, you get a little bit of a different
Yeah.
perspective for what's going on.
I was young too. We were looking to party and trying to look for different stuff.
There's some of that that can be had in
Yeah.
Germany, you know. Like, no, I liked it. I'll tell you though, like different cultures are different, man. Like I remember specifically, we went skiing one time, and like we had this big group of soldiers that went skiing, and they had this cool like army base place that you went called Garmisch, and we got there, and you ski with like all the German nationals are at these ski resorts and everything. Man, they're brutal. Like there is no line. You don't line up. These guys, like there was almost fights in the first 5 minutes we were there. You're standing in line. They'll ski right in front of you, right over the top of your skis. They'll knock you. Like I'm like, and it's just the way they do it, you know. But Americans, we're all like, "What are you doing, man?"
Right.
Like,
That's how I had a teammate from Germany when I was at Stony Brook. So, like some of the stuff it's like a culture thing. Cause some of the stuff he had come off saying or doing, we'd be like, bro, chill.
yeah. What are you talking? Yeah, no.
I've never been over the big pond. I've been to Cabo.
You've been. We heard about Cabo about 1,000 times. Was it fun, Scott? Did you play golf?
Awesome.
All right,
but I've never been overseas. Haven't been there.
Good,
So
good.
I can't help there. But, you know, how old are you now, Deshaun?
25.
So what's the shelf life? Like how long does somebody who's trying to make it professionally, like what's the window? Is there, I mean, I know it probably varies for people depending on your situation.
Probably in like, I'll say like in your first couple of years out of college, because they don't really, like right now, with COVID, dealing with COVID, they kind of take that in. COVID messed a whole lot of stuff up.
Yep.
So, but like on the usual, I probably say like your first couple of years out of college, maybe, because like they don't really like when players take years off and stuff. They like recent film, and when you reach out to them, they want to see your film. So they don't want to see film from 2 and 3 years ago. They want to see what you're doing right now and stuff. So, I would say in like probably next year or two, if something don't shake, I just focus on what I've been doing. That's why I've been trying to put other stuff into place too.
Oh yeah.
So when I'm done playing.
Yeah, and I know this is Hollywood, but have you seen the movie American Underdog, the Kurt Warner story? Because obviously there's some Hollywood. It's based on a true story about how Kurt Warner went from, he wasn't getting any opportunities to play pro football, and then he just kept at it, and then stuff opened up for him.
I was just gonna say,
it was pretty
that
cool
happens too, though. So at all times I stay ready, but at some point, you got to start looking at other stuff and start building around other things.
Just in case, backup plans. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So tell us a little bit about your brand. How'd that start? Where's the logo come from? I mean, I've started a couple businesses, so I'm fascinated by that. Right?
Actually, I always like outside of basketball, I love clothes. Like clothes and shoes. Like my mom always tell me, like, you got too many already. So like I love clothes too. So I always wanted to like start making my own clothes. So then when I got out of school and I went to Canada, I came home from Canada, the pandemic had started. Yep. So I was just at home, like, I think I want to start doing clothes, like start my own brand and start my own business. So at that point, I don't know. I think I saw some girls on Facebook. They were looking for
it all starts with the girls.
Yeah, they started looking for like these stacked pants, like these certain pants, and nobody in Muskegon was selling them. So I ended up just ordering some and I started selling women's clothes. And then I went from women's clothes. I'm like, all right, I want to just focus in on like, I know that was just like temporary. I want to focus on something long term, and I always knew I want to do like my own clothing stuff. So about, I want to say, sometime last year, like early January around this time, I sat down. I'm like, it was in January. I'm like, by the end of this month, I'm gonna have my logo and the name done at least, and then started off like that. So my logo came from my open house box. The money box. My friend mine, she had made me an open house box that had like the basketball stuff on there. And it had my number and my initials on it. And I looked at it and I sent it to the dudes that make logos. I'm like, I want a logo kind of like this. And I'm like, with my initials and the one in it. So then he sent me over probably like 20 different ones. And I chose 2 of them that I liked. And I sent to a couple of my friends, like, which one y'all like out of these 2? And then they picked the ones. A couple of them picked. So I ended up going with that one. And then I was stuck on the name. So I'm like, I don't think DT1, I don't like the sound of that one. So now I'm going with the D1 Sportswear. And I'm like, I end up just going with that one. I asked a couple of them, like, what y'all think about this name? And they end up liking it, end up putting it all together. And then I did my first, like, little sample order or whatever. And it been going good. I've just been going since.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool how that got going. And the Big Red's wearing some of your stuff, too, looks like? What do you got them wearing?
They've been wearing tights, Under Armours, headbands, some socks. A couple of the Heist players just hit me up yesterday or Friday. They got a big game tomorrow, so they just ordered some sleeves and Under Armours for the next game. Paris got the girls all leg sleeves for their upcoming game. So Marshawn Bird, he got the youth football team.
Yeah.
The Muskegon Elite.
Yeah.
So we've been talking. He want me to make some stuff for them, travel gear and all that. So I'm looking to make like jerseys and like travel and bags and all that stuff for like all the travel teams and AAU teams if I can.
That's awesome. So if somebody wanted to get hooked up with you, so like I coach a couple travel teams. I know a lot of guys. How would we just hit you up on Facebook? Do you have a website that we may be able to order?
I just dropped my website January 1st.
Okay.
So that was one thing I wanted to do to start the new year right. Then my website January 1st.
What's your URL for that website?
D1sportswearapparel.com.
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And then you can hit me on Facebook. My email's on there. My business page on there. I got a business Instagram, D1 Sports Brand on Instagram, and then D1 Sports on Facebook. So you can hit me on any of those, and we can connect and work.
That's awesome. Do you know the history behind Damon John, how he started FUBU? Have you ever read that?
No,
you
I
should.
haven't.
It's pretty interesting. He was doing stuff. I believe if I'm remembering correctly, like sewing his own clothes, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it took off. So it's a good story, I believe. Take a look at that because I mean it kind of goes down the same road, right?
Yeah.
Like small businesses are the lifeblood of the U.S., man.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad to see you doing that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And diversifying too, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, if you were ever an athlete, you know that like you always want to keep playing athletics, but it ends for everybody at some point, right? So having something else to kind of fall back on, that's pretty amazing. Awesome.
Yeah, how important is that to have that brand maybe and just use that, I guess, platform that you had and have as an athlete to kind of get your brand out there? How much does that help, do you think?
It helps a whole lot. That's why I kind of wanted to start it right now because, you know, like you said, the windows close. And, you know, once your buzz kind of gone, it's hard to get it back going. So right now, while the kids still know me.
who you are.
They know who I am. I'm around. Parents and stuff. I'm doing the trainings and everything. Still looking to play. You know, I still got my buzz. I want to get that out there going right now, so then it could be possibly long term.
Nice.
Yeah, you've become a pro at these podcasts. I know that you're doing one with Jared Pittman.
Yeah.
What's that called, and what's like the theme, or what do you guys talk about on that podcast?
Home field. That was my first one.
Was it?
Yep.
You didn't tell me you were competition, Deshaun. Like, come on, man. Like, no, I'm just kidding.
Yep. Here's his home field the podcast. We had fun on that one. That was my first one. I think he's really just starting with his. He had a couple other people on there so far, but I think he's in the beginning stage, so he's starting to grow. But that was a good one. That was a fun one. That was my first podcast. He just hit me up. He see what I've been doing. He hit me up like, I want to bring you on, bro. I've been knowing Pitt since we was playing Little League football together, and then he was our manager for my junior and senior year, matter of fact, at Muskegon. So I've been knowing Pitt for a minute. So
where's he at now?
He's in Kalamazoo.
Is he?
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
He was he was playing for Kalamazoo College, and then he got on the coaching staff with them for a second. So now I know he's looking to do other things. As far as I know he want to stay around football, so I know he's looking to do other things. I think too.
Awesome. So football, basketball. What's your favorite?
Basketball.
Yeah. Why?
Basketball has always been my first love. I started playing basketball. I don't know. I started playing football early too. I started playing like Little League when I was 4.
Yeah.
Football, but I always just loved basketball. That was my first love. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't either. I fell in love with basketball too, and you couldn't tell now, but I played a lot of ball when I was younger.
Yeah.
And my dad and I used to talk. I fell in love with a sport that doesn't love me back. I'm short, and So no, that's awesome.
I would say like my first football practice, I came home, told my mom like I don't want to play football. They run too much. Because we had this big fence they used to make us run around every day to start practice. I don't want
too much work.
Yeah, it's too much running. I'm straight.
That's actually my middle. I got 3 boys. My middle guy, Owen, he played football all the way up through 8th grade, and he started seeing summer practices and stuff. And he's like, and he's a pretty good soccer player too. So he's like, hey, I'm just gonna stick with soccer. Plus, I tease him. I just don't think he likes getting hit either. You know, he's not a big guy. So
see, that was the part I did like.
Did you?
Fall and when I was there, I used to always fall and stuff. So I ain't have a problem getting hit and fall and getting dirty and stuff. I couldn't stay clean anyway.
That's funny.
What was it like, playing? We'll start off with Muskegon High. Obviously, you were at Heights.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll backtrack just half a step here. What were the things that you took away from both Heights and Muskegon? Lessons you learned, things that you learned growing up in those communities. And I know they're both still important to you now because I know you're around the Big Reds and athletics a lot, but you're still going back to Heights. I know when Snead had his camp there, you were there, and you're still around, like you said, talking to the Heights kids still. I mean, how important are both of those communities to you?
Real important because starting from Little League anyway, like my dad was our coach. We had both downtown and the Heights as a combined team. So when I went to the Heights, I was playing with guys that I've been playing with my whole life. Well, majority of them I played with my whole life. And then when I was playing varsity, I met some new guys and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah. But they basketball culture was way different than what Muskegon was, and then they was building a football culture. So then when I ended up going to Muskegon, it's kind of reversed. The football culture was different then, but then we started building a basketball culture. So, it was it was good for both. And then we brought those guys, our whole, basically majority of the Heights team down to Muskegon. And then, we was able to have a two-head monster in basketball and football with KG and Coach Fairfield and the players that we had brought over. So, and then just bringing that good atmosphere, that vibe, and on a basketball court that they was kind of missing, because they always had a good team and good players and stuff, but it was just something that was kind of just missing. I don't really know what was missing, but when we end up coming, that atmosphere and the culture kind of just the culture just changed to basketball, and now when they're expecting winning seasons and stuff in both sports, so the culture just kind of changed, and bringing that winning culture and that competitiveness and the things that KG bring and his coaching staff run, Coach Mo and Louie and Coach Josh and stuff, the stuff that they installed in us and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, that's that culture's huge. We talk about it here all the time, and accountability. I know that KG and Shane both are big on that, on accountability. It doesn't matter who it is, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and even your teammates, I'm sure you guys hold each other accountable. You're not going to have a great team and achieve all your goals unless you got people basically calling each other out if they're not doing what they're supposed to do.
And one of my favorite quotes is "Culture eats strategy and talent for breakfast." It really does. And you see that, in athletics, you look around and you're like, man, that team's got 6 people that would start on any other team, and they're having trouble winning. Maybe they're 10-9 when they should be 20-0, right? So that's pretty cool. So tell us a little bit about your relationship with Keith and how that goes, and how has it changed from being a player to kind of to a mentor to kind of now.
I've been knowing KG since I was little. Christian played on the AYBT team with us when my dad was coaching.
Who wins the one-on-one right now, Deshaun?
Me or KG?
Yeah, that's
me.
A joke. That's a joke.
You just back him in.
I was joking.
But listen though, KG is still good.
I'm glad we got video. You just need to look on his face. He's like, "Are you crazy?"
KG will get on the court though. And,
I'm sure he will.
He done got on a couple of the players get talking crazy at practice. Sometimes he'll just pop up at practice with his stuff, and he'll get on the court and hoop and get some buckets. He done beat a couple players in one-on-one though.
That's funny. That's funny.
But our relationship been real good though.
That's good.
I can call. He one of those guys I can call for anything. He called me for help stuff with the guy, workouts, I got this young player, this, that, I need you to work him out, kind of take him under your wing, this, that. So even in high school, after games and before games and stuff, we'd be texting and stuff after the games, or we'd have our post and pregame talks and stuff. And as a freshman, when he brought me in, because I was coming from downtown, I decided to come to the Heights with the school of choice. And as a freshman, he brought me in. We just sat down, and he made me put out all my goals off rip.
That's awesome. What do you want to do?
What you want to do these next 4 years? We finna check them off the list. So Mr. Basketball was one. State championship was another one. I want to go McDonald's All-American. I ain't get that one, but he just made me list all of them. And we checked majority of them off. And as time grew, our relationship got better and better and better. And, he coached me hard, and some days I didn't like it, but, it always made me better and made college easier because, his practices is basically college practices. So when I got to school, he got 3-hour practices. In college, you might have 3 games a week, so you can't practice that long. You got an hour and a half practice, so I'm getting through practice easy. I'm used to this. So, he prepared me in the basketball aspect and in life outside of basketball, too. Just talked to me and he'd hear I'm doing certain things or hear certain things. He wouldn't hesitate to call me down to his offices and talk to me or call me late at night or during the day. And I heard this, man. What's going on with this? And even as I'm older, I do something here's something now, and he'd call me like, hey man, what's going on with this? I heard this, that. I know you grown, but watch out, keep your nose clean and all this. So, our relationship, he like another father figure to me. So our relationship real good. I still go to the practices almost every day and practice with the guys and play with them and work out with them and stuff.
So who's the best player in Muskegon right now? Is that still Deshaun?
Yeah.
I love it, man. That's awesome.
So you look at that team your senior year, 13-14 team, special. 28-0. I mean, that's really hard. Obviously, you were Mr. Basketball. That speaks on its own. And then obviously, Deontay Davis was on that team, and he won Mr. Basketball the next year. But what are your memories of that 13-14 season and just that special run it was?
Just our chemistry on and off the court. Like, a lot of us already grew up knowing each other and playing with each other. Like,
which can be good or bad too, right? Like, because you can grow up with somebody and really decide you don't like them.
So
but that's good.
In the starting five, 4 of us out the starting 5 had been playing AAU and AYBT with each other since we was little when we was playing for my dad, and then we end up just plugging Didi in, which having a 6'8", 6'9" dude in high school, that won't hurt either. You feel me?
Hurt at all.
So, and then we had the bench, they was kind of young or whatever, but they always grew up under us, so we had already been knowing them and familiar with them. So we had a good relationship and chemistry like that. And then just off the court, we hung together off the court too.
Yeah.
A lot of teams just go to practice playing games together and then don't talk to each other. But we hung together off the court. We did team activities and stuff, and we played, like, I know we looked serious on the court, but that team played a lot. So, that made it even better. Like, we had fun. That was the main thing. Like, we made sure we had fun while we did it. Like, practices was serious. We used to compete hard against each other. Like, the second string, some days we'd kill them, and then some days they'd come in and,
that competitiveness.
Yeah, that competitiveness. So that always built us up, had us on our toes. And, we just always pushed each other to compete better. And we just... Like, I knew that team was special from the summertime. Like, the summertime, we went basically the whole summer without losing.
Yeah.
Like, and all the team camps we went to.
That's almost sometimes harder, though, isn't it? Like, like, this is something special. And you can almost, like, I've seen teams crack under that. Like, they're just like, man, we should be great. And, like, that pressure of having to be great, you guys just handled it.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
Was there any, like, I don't even remember if there were any tight games that you guys played. There's usually at least one or two.
It was a couple of them.
Because is there a turning point where it's like where that closeness kind of pulls you through? Because talent will get you to a point, but if you don't have that closeness, you're going to run into maybe that really big adversity that might bring you down if you're not close.
I want to say the first one was the first close game. We always, I don't know what it is about at Union. Like, we never play good at Union. So, it's always something. Like they always play hard. They always play hard. They always play super. Right, they always play super hard when it's us. Yeah. So Union, I missed a game before that because I separated my shoulder against, I think it was Mount Clemens, and we played Reese Puffer the next game. So I sat out the next game, and I really wasn't ready to come back. But we know how hard Union played, and they can make around upset us. So I was good enough to play. I think Didi Hop was sick, and then it was something wrong with Didi and Hop too. And then Lil Will had a real big game, and then we end up, like, that game was close, and Union came out hot. They was hitting everything. We had a sluggish first half. Yeah. KG came in, cut into us, told me if I was too hurt to play, take my stuff off then.
I love it.
Told whoever, I forgot if it was Hop or Didi that was sick. They were too sick, don't play then. He'll plug somebody in that want to play hard. Second half, it was kind of tight, but we ended up pulling it out.
Tough love from KG, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, but you guys everybody plays the roles. I think on that team, everybody played the roles, and you have to have different guys step up in order to pull off what you guys pulled off. I thought
that was the best thing about our team. Like, any given night, like, you know what they expect from each player, but any given night, somebody might have a big game, and
it's hard. It's hard to plan for that too, right? Like, as an opposition, like, all right, so you could have 20 and,
Yeah.
and Davis could have 20 and somebody else like you're not even expecting might have 20. Like it's like how do you
That's
prepare
every
for that?
game because like 4 out of 5 of our starters average double figures.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And Jordan really could have averaged double figures if he wanted to, but his role was to defend the best player. So he sat in the corner. He like, as long as I hit a couple threes a game, I'm good.
Yeah.
I play D. He was playing 94 feet the whole game.
The whole game. Yeah.
So like you said, like the game after I won Mr. Basketball, we played Ann Arbor Skyline, and they decided to double team, and Didi had 28 and Hop had 26. I think I ended up with like 9 assists or something on like 4 points, but we ended up winning by 20 something still.
Yeah.
In the quarterfinals. So that was what was special about our team. Like you try to take this person off the pitch or a game plan for this, and we always had a counter for it because everybody knew their roles and everybody was ready to step up.
Yeah, and if they got y'all rolling on the same night, good luck. There's nobody beating you guys. If they were all rolling.
You roll somebody right out of the gym.
Yeah.
So you talk about you're doing some coaching, you're doing some kind of individual one-on-one stuff.
Yeah.
If you're talking to, and we actually do have some high school kids that listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
What do you tell a kid? I mean, you've been there, right?
Right.
Like, and you've been to that next level. You're hoping to get to that even next level, right?
Yeah.
Like, what do kids need to focus on? I'm a sophomore, junior on the varsity. What am I looking? What do I need to work on?
First, make sure them grades
good.
Like that's the first question coaches ask. Like, what's his grades like? If you took the ACT, qualified, so take care of that right now. I know like a lot of kids, like a lot of student athletes now, they putting their GPAs and stuff in their bios on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. So when coaches come looking at that, as soon as they look, they're like, oh, okay, he already qualified, he good. We can work now. So the first thing is take care of the grades, make sure that's A1 or decent enough. I know other things come into place, but make sure that's taken care of.
Okay.
And then the next thing, just work on your craft.
Yeah.
And then don't take it for granted. Like really just work on your craft and put time in the gym, the field, the baseball cage, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Work on your craft and put a lot of time in it. Like I know like kids young and stuff, they want to have fun, party, and hang out with their friends. Like,
hang out with their friends.
Like that's all right. Like, but take care of business first. Like regardless, like even now and even in high school, regardless of what I'm gonna do, if I'm finna go to a party, I might go do this and that. I'm getting in the gym first. I'm taking care of the gym first, and like my friends and my peers know that too.
They know that.
Yeah. So put that time in the gym and work, like, and focus on things that you can control. A lot of kids caught up in the hype on the social media things. Like social media kind of make things crazy right now with the videos. They want to post those offers and they focus on that. But like, and then when that stuff don't start coming through, they kind of get discouraged.
Right.
But just focusing, control the things that you can control. Working hard, playing hard every game. It might be nights that your shot might not be falling. And coaches know that. Like, they might come see you might be off this game, and they know that, but they're going to look for you to do other things. Now, how you leading your team, how's your body language? Body language is a huge thing. With things not going your way, how's your body language? You playing defense, you're doing other things, you rebounding, you getting assists, you building your team up, you making other winning plays. You not letting this play affect the rest of the game and the next play. So,
memory.
Right. So just do those type of things. And really, I just say, like, don't really take it for granted because God can give you a gift. And if you're not using it to your full capability, like he feel like you should, he could take that.
Yeah.
Let me get that. And, you would be left wondering, like, dang, why he do this? But you weren't really using it anyway. Yeah. So you was taking it for granted. So I say don't take nothing for granted. Put 110% in everything that you're doing, and then let the chips fall where they roll.
So, control what you can control. That's a big one. That jumped out at me too, because
that's great advice.
We talk about a lot of that stuff here too. I mean, that's one of our foundations here too.
Yep, circle of influence, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, so one of my pet peeves, I'm going to be honest with you, right? Like, is I think sometimes parents are almost the worst thing in the world nowadays, and everybody thinks their kid's a D1, D2 athlete. Like, people have looked at me funny. My middle guy was on the varsity as a freshman, like small school, Montague, but like I want him to play. I want him to love basketball, but also like I'm not delusional, right? Like he's a little guy, right? Like now I'm never going to discourage him, but I think sometimes people have a misconception of the difference between even playing at a big school like Muskegon with great talent, what that next step looks like. So I mean, talent-wise, what did that step look like for you? Were you surprised at like when you got to college and like how good the other players are around you? I mean, like, what does that look like? Can you maybe describe that?
It wasn't really too much a surprise for me because we always played against high
best.
competition.
Yeah.
So, I was going to school and I was just used to that anyway.
Yeah.
Used to playing against the big names and stuff, and like AAU playing against the big teams and all that. So that wasn't too much of a surprise. But like you said, for some players it is.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, KG, he kind of just prepared us for college anyway.
Yeah, I mean, having a good coach
like
that,
yeah, so he helped a whole lot. So maybe if I didn't play for him, I wouldn't. It would have been a
quite
shot.
as ready.
Yeah. So
what is the work? I mean, what is the amount of work you put in at college? I mean, what does that look like from? I mean, now Keith prepared you pretty well for that, but like,
but still, it was still some stuff I wasn't ready for.
Yeah.
Like one thing in high school and college, and even now, I hated conditioning. And he know that too. Like, you knew that I hated conditioning, and I was fortunate enough that we made it far in the playoffs for football a majority of the time that I always missed conditioning.
Missed it?
Yeah, we always missed conditioning. But then it still made it hard because we had to run after practice. Like after having a 2.5, 3 hour practice, we still had to run to make up for that conditioning we missed because the majority of us played football. But I remember one of my first workouts in the weight room at Stony Brook. Like the weights weren't really the problem. Like we had bike sprints.
oh yeah.
We had bike sprints for conditioning, but before we lift. But when we got done, he was like, that was the warm up. We still got a whole lift.
You're like,
and I was gonna die. Man, I text KG like, no, this over with. Hey, they up here tripping, coach.
That's funny.
But yeah, he was like, when he said that was the warm up and we still had a whole hour workout after that was different. But like, yeah, them days used to be long. Wake up, you have lift, and you might have an individual workout, and then class, or wake up, have practice, lift, classes in between, then you'll have film. So it's like a whole day thing. And then on top of study tables, like study tables be mandatory. You got to get that homework out the way. Yeah. And then by the time you get home, you ready. You dead. Like really.
It's like more than a full-time job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And then, you excelled in football and basketball in Muskegon, but then you took it to the next level at Ferris, too, doing both. I mean, what's that like?
Are you crazy?
Multi-sporting. And I mean, Ferris is Division II, but it might as well. It's as close to Division I, I think, as you're going to get because of the way they compete and their expectations. But, I mean, what was that like being a dual sporter at a Division II power like that?
Yeah, it was fun. Actually, like it was a lot of work. I was tired some days and most days, but I just looked at it back as like this high school all over again. I got a chance to do something special. They taking a chance on me to do something special. So obviously, if they see something in me to do both, it's probably capable. So then I had that first year, the red shirt, that I had to sit out anyway, and I had surgery. So I kind of had that 1 year to not kind of like navigate and see how things gonna go with practice and stuff. And then they had like a 20-hour rule anyway. I can only do 20 hours a week with both.
Oh, okay. So you were limited.
Yeah, so that made it easy because they were like, they don't want my body to give out and stuff. And I think game days, like some days, I had games on both days. Like
that's crazy.
I had a football game at like 12 or 1, and then have a basketball game at like 5:30. So I leave the football game, take a shower, go eat real quick, and then go get taped and go warm up for basketball. So
that's nuts. Wow.
But it was fun though. Like it was just, I figured like if I'm already gonna go down to the Division II level, I might as well do both and give it a try. And Coach Denise always told me like, just give football a try again. If you don't like it, like I won't hold it against you. You can stop playing whenever you feel like you don't like it, if you're not feeling it anymore. And then when I stepped on the field again, I felt good. And started
I think that like Michigan State, and they had a bad loss Saturday at home against Northwestern, but they have a couple football players that just joined the team, and they'd had that before. But there's some friends of mine and other people are like, oh yeah, they're going to come, they're make a difference. I go, those guys probably won't even play because. First of all, they just had their first practice. Second of all, do you realize how good this level of basketball is? And
that's
even
hard.
Your level of basketball is a great level of basketball and football. So I don't know if people just maybe
the type of athlete,
kind of just don't appreciate how good you have to be to thrive not only at one but at both.
No, they don't really understand. They don't really understand. Like I didn't even understand back then either. Like how good some players are at the Division II level.
Oh yeah.
Like I thought like Division I, Division II, like it's a gap, but not. as large of a gap as we may think. Cause
right. Well, and then it depends on what school you go to too, right?
Right.
Like
Definitely.
you go to maybe a smaller Division II that isn't really well known. You go to Ferris.
Yeah, Ferris, right.
The gap's even smaller.
Because like the first year I got there, I think they beat UOD, which is Division I.
Mm-hmm.
My year that I was able to play the national championship year, we lost to Michigan State by I think 6.
Yeah,
and we was either up or tied at halftime.
Did you play at Breslin then?
Yeah.
What's that like?
You played in the finals there too, but
yeah.
in semifinals.
No, I mean
still.
playing against the Spartans.
Yeah, it was
finals
fun.
is great, but like
It was fun. A couple players on there I had already knew them and familiar with and stuff, so
Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah.
Compete against them. I was familiar with Coach Izzo and the coaching staff and stuff, so that was fun for that to be like one of my first games back playing and stuff to get back going. So
who was the big guy that you had at Ferris that was really good?
Zach Hankins.
Hankins, yeah, he was really good.
Yeah.
I thought he was a Division I caliber kid.
Yeah.
And he ended up going to Xavier too.
He ended up
didn't
going to Xavier. Then he ended up getting picked up in the summer league for the NBA summer league.
Yeah.
Then he ended up going overseas. I know he was in the summer league this past year too. Mm-hmm. And then I think he's back overseas now.
Yeah, because they won the Division II national
yeah.
title. 38-1 that year. Were you in the football finals that year too? The national finals or semifinals?
Semifinals. In the following, like later on that year, that's when we made it to the finals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what was it? If you look at Anise, obviously everyone around here knows Tony Anise from the football connection, but also in the White Lake area, people know him because he lived in Whitehall and he coached basketball there. Coached actually boys and girls at the same time once.
Yeah, I ain't know that till he told me that. Yeah,
that's crazy.
So what's Anise like? And then one other thing about him, I know he's really competitive, including he plays his sport is pickleball now.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Pickleball. I don't know.
They be playing in the gym sometimes. They was playing in the gym sometimes.
Yeah. Anyhow, what's he like?
Just for the record, before you go into that, me and Cody Cater I'm gonna whoop him at pickleball. I'm calling it out right now. He's been talking trash. I'm just letting everybody know on the podcast. But go ahead.
What's Tony like?
Like you said, he's very competitive. A lot of energy. A lot of energy. Coaches hard. He pushes us. And he motivates us, and he do a lot of stuff off the field and for his players that people don't see. And probably people, since he's so competitive and come off how he does on the field sometimes, he might come off as like a mean coach or whatever, but like he really cool for real. Like off the field, he's a whole different person. Like he's that competitive, hard coach on you on the field, but off the field, he's loving, caring.
Yeah. That's hard for people to understand, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
I think Izzo's a little bit like that
Yeah.
at times.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of players love Izzo, but man, you see him get after some people in the game.
You would look like, man, I know I hate to be his player, it's that, but like it don't even be like that. It's that like that love, hate type of relationship. But like most of his players really don't even hate it because we know what they expect from him and we embrace it. Whatever. Yeah, he know he's just doing that to pull the best out of us, and because he giving his all. On the coach's end, so he just expecting that same thing out of us. So
and maybe that's not for everybody. Maybe it takes a certain player to be able to play for a coach like that.
Yeah, but like him and KG and all them, and like Izzo and all that, like they not changing their coaching style.
No, you better get used to it.
If you're looking for that, you might as well go somewhere else then.
Yeah. What about Andy Bronkema? What was he like?
He was kind of different, actually. Like he coached you hard. He has a lot of energy. You know, he fights, but like far as like the yelling and and kind of like getting into you, he'll do that, but then he'll kind of come at you in a different way. It's like he kind of does it like based off the player. He like
so he modifies.
How his player responds. So his kind of different. He kind of go at you like he'll come at you too, and then he might see how you respond and remember like, okay, this player responds this way.
This person shut down.
He know that. So. He'll change his depending on player.
Was he coaching or affiliated with that TV? Was it the 3-on-3 thing? What was that called again?
No, it was TBT. The $1 million tournament.
Yep,
he was. He was on the coaching staff.
And what was that like playing in that?
It was fun but different. Like we was in a bubble. That's when they first tried the bubble thing out. So we got to the hotel, checked into the hotel. We had one team designated room that just our team can go to, or you had to be in your room. Yep. You couldn't interact with other teams and stuff.
That's weird, isn't it?
There was no fans. That was the first time he played in the arena with no fans and stuff. So the gym was quiet. We played the Big Ten team. So I remember playing like Nick Ward and like playing at State and playing in the Money Boss Pro-Am and stuff. So we go out for the starting five, just look around, we all just talking. I'm like, dang, it's quiet. And the whole gym heard me.
Yeah.
So it was weird like playing. Yeah. But then once we started playing and competing, you didn't even notice it wasn't the crowd because you got your teammates going in there and you competing. So it was kind of like open gym at first, but then like as time started going, like, okay, we hooping.
So one question I wanted to ask, right? Like, so it's funny because you're about 6'1", right? Like, so you're not a small guy, but in terms of basketball, you're definitely not a big guy, right? Like, so what kind of advice would you give to those trying to compete on the smaller side, right? Like, you know, like how was that competing as a smaller guy, maybe in a sport that, you know, bigger guys?
One, as a smaller guard,
on
a defensive end, you have to be a problem, a pest.
Yeah,
like you got to, because I mean they could find, if you're gonna sit back and like you gotta be a dog. You gotta be a dog as me and small, because if not, they could go find a 6'3" dude to do whatever you do and chill. That could do more. That's bigger. So as a smaller guard and stuff, like you got to be a dog. And then the way basketball going right now, you got to be able to shoot the ball. It's a lot of threes in basketball now, and everybody falling in love with three. But you know, I still shoot the mid range and still train my players to be able to knock down pull-ups and mid range and floaters and all that. So you got to have diversity and creativity to your game and stuff. But you got to for sure be a dog on the defensive end. You got to be able to control and take control of the game, be a leader, be vocal, and you got to, like I said, you got to be able to shoot the ball too consistently. Because, like I said, coaches always look like, okay, if he gonna sit back and chill and not do this and that, I could just go find a 6'4" dude that can do that. So, or I could go find another 6'1" guard or 6-foot guard that's gonna play 100 times harder than him. If you're gonna sit, like, you'd be good, but like you got to really be a dog. You can't be like passive. Like somebody else could be 6'8" and passive because they got the luxury to do that because they're big.
So, I always talk about it like from the perspective of playing bigger than you are or playing smaller. You know, I've seen a lot of big guys that play like they're 5'9", 5'10", and I've seen a lot of smaller guys that you know they play like they're 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", right? Like it's, and like you said, it's about your effort and attitude. Right. At that point, it's like, you're gonna go get it, right? Just, I've seen small guys are great rebounders. You look at some of these big guys and you're like, man, if you put in that kind of determination, you'd be grabbing 40, 50 rebounds a game. You know, so no, that's good advice.
A lot of it's that effort and that having that dog in you. Like, and some guys either have it or they don't.
And then that's hard to teach sometimes too.
And then on top of that, you look at, this is kind of an age of sports specialization, which personally I get it, but I don't really like to see it. I mean, I guess I kind of admire the old throwback, which I think you're more of a throwback, a multi-sporter where, how much did that help you? How much on the football field did basketball help, and then vice versa?
Yeah, it helped a lot. Coaches like when you play both. Like this generation starting to just choose one in high school, and I really don't get that. I feel like part of it, honestly, is them just being lazy. That's hard to play both. So, and they know that it's hard to play both. So instead of doing that, they'd rather just choose one. Cause like in the summertime, for instance, if you play both at Muskegon, in the summertime, the schedule is from 10 to 12. You got basketball workouts with the team, and then
you go to football.
Then from 12 to 2, you got football, weightlifting. You might go on the field and throw or mesh or do whatever your position coach. So from 10 to 2 is both, and then you might mess around and have like a summer basketball game later on that day at like 5:30 or something. So that's like a whole day full of work. So a lot of players, that turned a lot of players off. Like, no, bro, I need my summer. Like that's a lot of work, because that's what a lot of players try to do. Sometimes they miss the summer stuff and try to come in the winter and try to try out when it's only one sport focus. But I don't know. I wish a lot of players started playing both again, because it definitely helped. The weight room, the football contact and stuff, help on the basketball court. Different footworks for either one, help from both. Like me being a quarterback helped me being a point guard, and vice versa, being a leader and being vocal and leading my team. So it was a lot of different things that helped me in either one.
Did you play any other sports?
I tried baseball once in like 5th grade. They started pitching too fast.
I probably told this story, but I played 2 years of baseball, and I remember sitting in a game, and I had 2 at bats, and I'm playing the outfield, and I didn't get a ball hit to me. I'm like, man, this is so. I'm sorry, all you baseball fans. Scott was a good baseball player, so I'm like, this is so boring, man. I gotta be moving around. I gotta be doing something, you know.
I played pitcher that year. Yeah, I played pitcher, and then that was my first year playing baseball, so I ain't really know what to expect. So whenever the ball, I think the ball coming close to hitting me, I was just dropping. And then from 7th grade to 10th grade, 11th grade, I ran track too.
Oh, nice. What'd you run?
I ran 100, 200, high jump, and the relays.
What'd you high jump?
I don't know, nothing crazy.
Crazy.
I ain't had form. I was just doing it just to do it. I was just jumping. I was running out there just jumping. Yeah.
So what can you say for your experience playing for Shane Fairfield and then just playing for Muskegon football, playing for the Big Reds? And obviously we know basketball is your first love, but football in Muskegon's huge too, being in the winningest program in state history and ranking top 6, 7 nationally. What was that whole experience like?
That was always just basically a dream come true. Used to go to the games when I was little. Used to go there with my Little League jersey on Fridays, like most of the kids do, watching the games or watching the games and playing football and in the grass while the games going and stuff. And then going home, I remember Chris Crawford, Ronald, Corey, Ashton, all them dudes. I played quarterback, so me and my friends, I'd be dropping back saying I'm Chris, throwing the ball to my friend. He's saying he Ronald and stuff. So that was like a dream come true. And then Fairfield, Coach Fairfield, he coached us hard. He coached us hard. He expected the best out of us. He put the best out of us, and he didn't expect nothing less than what we gave him. We came up short 2 years in a row, but he fought hard. He coached us hard. Practice was up tempo. But like I said, KG prepared us for college as a football player. Coach Fairfield gonna prepare you for college too, as practicing in the weight room and how coaches gonna coach you. So the culture there is real good, and just playing for him was a good thing for me too, for both basketball, football, college, and in life, because he the same way. He'll do whatever for you off the football field. You call him late night, coach, I need to talk. Coach, I need a ride after practice or something like that, and he got you. So, and now a lot of people look at him same way. He coached hard. Yep. This, that. I wonder how he is off the field, but he's a real great person off the field too.
You look at Hackley Stadium now and think, where was this when we were playing?
The court, the gym too. They just got the new scoreboard.
That looks great too.
Got it painted.
The new gym coming in, the new auxiliary gym coming in.
When we say that, they always say we help build that, try to make us feel better. But
okay, I can see that. Yeah. We're getting this because you guys laid the foundation.
You guys laid the foundation. Yeah. So you talk a lot about your coaches. I mean, who's your biggest influence growing up? And maybe had the biggest influence on your success overall?
My parents and my family.
Yeah,
for sure. My parents and my family. Like I said, my dad was coaching me since I was young, up until probably 7th grade.
Yeah.
So, and even until then, he was still putting time in the gym with me. My mom, she just kind of played that mom role. You know, she can they really never missed a game. I don't really remember them missing the game. My brother too. My brother, one of my biggest fans, or my
older
biggest
or
fan. Older.
Okay.
Yep. He probably his favorite player is probably Kobe, Melo, than me.
You didn't get over Melo, huh?
Nah,
I can see Kobe, baby. But
Kobe, Melo, and me.
Brothers.
So yeah. So he think I'm up there with them guys.
That's
so,
awesome.
But my mom, she ain't really hold me up either. I have a good game, she'll tell me. I had a bad game, she'll tell me you was out there tripping. My dad the same way. I could have 30. My dad still, he gonna find you should have did this. You could have had 40.
Yeah.
You could have did this. You could have had a couple more
I'm sure
assists.
you handled that all well too.
Man, it used to be irritating. I just had everybody telling you a good game, and you get in the car, you get home. Well, if you'd have did this, you'd have did this. I want to see you do this, Mo.
Yeah, just play good.
You feel me? No. So, but it was always good because it kept me level headed too. Like you know, that's part of the problem with some players. Now you got everybody telling you everything you did good, and then you don't really have that person to tell you like, okay, if you do this, you need to work on this, you need to work on that. So he still do that now as me being a pro. Like he tell me I need to work on this.
Yeah.
He watch games. He'll be watching the game, call me and like, you just saw what this player did. You need to work on this. I like this, and we need to get in the gym and try this. So like my family, and then like even my cousins and stuff coming to the games, and you know always.
Yeah, that's good family accountability.
Yeah.
So, what's success look like for you now? Like, if
and that's crazy.
You know, 10 years from now, you look back and you're like, okay, I'm successful. I mean, what does that look like?
That's crazy. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Right now, anyway,
good.
That's what's crazy, because when I was little and in high school, I only thought I'd be successful if I made it to the NBA.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't, I felt like you feel me? I failed. Because that's what everybody expected anyway. So right now, it's like putting myself in better positions for the future.
Okay.
And like, I feel like I checked everything off the list that I want to do.
Yeah.
Honestly, in all honesty, if I like want to be technical, I won a championship and won the goals that most of the goals I checked off in high school.
Yep.
I won Division I like I wanted to.
Yep.
When I won Division II, I won a national championship and played and won. I signed a pro contract. I got paid to play basketball in another country.
Yep.
I did. So I always wanted to be a pro. I was able to be a pro. So now I just been thinking, you know, I'm always chase that pro dream and you know keep doing that. But God might have a different calling for me as far as like. I was the first player to do a lot of things in Muskegon, and me and KG kind of figured things out together. So now I got players under me that's going through the same thing, and I could be that person that like, okay, like for instance, like Jordy Briggs and Sid right now.
Yep.
They going through the recruiting processes and stuff, and okay, this is what you look for when you go to schools. This is what you look for when you talking to coaches and going on visits, and when you're taking to schools in consideration. This is stuff that you need to work on. This is what coaches going to expect. This, that. I ain't really have nobody to do that. You know, I didn't have a trainer and all that. I watch YouTube and go get in the gym. So they got me showing them pro things, college things, you know, different things to work on. So that might be my calling that God had me prepared to do. Like, okay, it's time for you to get back to the community. You set out, you had your goals, this, that, you know, you keep chasing them. Of course, keep chasing them, be ready on call at any time. But, like, that might be my calling to have my brand and train kids and just be that positive influence around for the kids right now.
No, that's using your platform. That's using your platform and the gifts you were given.
Yeah.
Maybe not, like you said, had the NBA dreams, but just because you didn't make the NBA or haven't yet doesn't mean that you don't have a big platform and a big message to share and having a really big role in people's lives. You know,
even back then, like in high school, I really didn't get how big overseas was. Like, I used to think like I knew overseas like a backup for most NBA players, but I just thought overseas was like some
where you go if you can't make it.
But I got friends over there that's making a real good money. You feel me? Good living. Been playing over there for years plus, and players over there that can play in the NBA right now and that can play at that level. But you know, different things come perspective, politics with different things, and that's what people don't see behind the scenes and stuff. And
a lot of that's luck too.
Right. I would just say that, and then knowing different people and people being able to put you in different positions in front of different people and stuff. So, but like overseas, like a lot of people think overseas is like just a walk in the park. And it's not like that. It's hard. Like, it's still a grind. Still, you know, so.
Okay. Yeah, you brought up influences earlier, and one note I wanted to bring up, because of the day it is, it's MLK Day, and a lot of kids grow up, or like high school kids or younger kids, we get to stay off school, but they're not looking at why they have the day off school. And so can you speak to that and how important that is for people to know that history and how important that is for our culture today?
Yeah, they need to. That's definitely huge and major. Like you said, they might just look at it as like another day. But at least in the household, I feel like especially like younger kids that's missing school, elementary, especially like in elementary, like maybe put on a little MLK movie or watch a small segment. You only take a couple minutes out of there. I talk to him like, you know who Martin Luther King is?
Yeah.
You know what he did? You know, do something small into it because like it's not just a day. It's a reason why you got a day off. It's a reason why it's a day. It's the day it is. So you know, teach that, put that in the kids. You know, because like in the school system, it seemed like they starting to get farther away from that type of stuff. And like February, like Black History Month and stuff. Like some schools make it an emphasis to teach that, and some schools don't. Just depend on the school. Right. Like some schools in school right now, and some schools not. So I guess it just depend on the school. But if you're in school, I feel like they should, you know, implement something in the day for that. And if not, the parents should at home to teach the kids something.
Yeah, that's where it starts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, no, for sure. So, one question we always talk about is, who's the best player you played against? Like,
Ever.
Yeah, ever.
Yeah.
Well, maybe let's split it up. In high school, who's the best player you played against?
High school.
It's hard to give props to somebody else, isn't it? So like,
High school. I'll say maybe Eric Davis from Saginaw.
yeah. What was tough about playing him?
He hit tough shots
Yeah,
all the time. Like
you did all the right stuff. And
yeah,
you're
like
like,
he
man,
hit
seriously.
he hit tough shots. Like when we played them the Floyd Classic, like we both had 30s.
Yeah,
You know, and Jordan, like I said, he was our defensive stopper, and he was hitting crazy tough shots on Jordan. Like Jordan hand be right in his face. He was talking to you like he hit tough shots. So he was for sure one of them. Cliff Alexander. It's like being
Chicago,
sick.
wasn't he? I
Yeah,
think he was
Chicago
Chicago,
Curry.
yeah.
Like being that big and strong in high school, that's hard to guard, and you know.
Yeah.
So him and I say them two for sure.
yeah,
I say them two for sure in high school, cause like the stuff that Eric used to do in high school, like it wasn't too many. Like especially back then, you really see too many high school players hitting them type of shots.
yeah.
Fadeaways and playing mid post and threes. Like he played inside and out, so that was tough.
Where'd he go play afterwards?
He went to Texas.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep. I remember that now. What was Deontay like? Both, like, just how talented was he, or is he still? Obviously, still playing. But then, you know, what personality-wise, like, you would know him better probably than a lot of other people would. But what's he really like?
See, I've been knowing Didi since he was little too. I used to hang around his older brother. We was friends like back in middle school and stuff. So I knew Didi before he was. Like he grew to had that growth spurt and be Didi. So, but Didi he always been quiet until he get comfortable with you. Like, and it take him a little while to get comfortable. Well, it did, and it took him a little while to get comfortable with you. But once he did, you know, you start seeing that other side of him.
Yeah.
And his sophomore year, which was my junior year, when we first got there, you know, he was raw.
Yeah.
You know, but we saw like, yeah, we could use him. He could be better. He got potential for sure. So that first year was like a trial run, kind of. He gave us what he can give us. But in that offseason, he put in a lot of work. And then we held him accountable because we knew what he can do for us and what he could do for himself and stuff. And he could take his game to the next level, which he did.
How far can this Muskegon team? I know you've watched most, if not all, their games, and they obviously put on a show against Benton Harbor.
Yeah.
What's their upside? What do you think they can do?
I feel like this could be one of those years that they could win it. They got all the pieces that they need.
Yeah. Where are they ranked right now?
I haven't seen the AP rankings come out yet, but I know like in the Grand Rapids rankings, and I don't know if who they have number one, but Muskegon jumped up.
Yeah.
They're like number 2 or number 1.
They
They're up toward the top.
I was thinking I think I saw somebody post on Twitter like number 12 in the state in one of them, and then I saw another one like they were like 17. So I don't know which rankings it was.
Yeah, I don't know if that was maybe McCabe's where it's the all divisions, but like the West Michigan one I saw had them too, but I don't know if they had like Grand Rapids Catholic number 1 because they're pretty talented. They got a lot of guys back too, but I think Muskegon turned some heads with that Benton Harbor score.
No, that's good.
But they got experience. Like last year, they kind of could use the excuse that they was young, COVID, this, that, you know. But this year, they got the experience. They know what they expect. the seniors been playing real good. Ethan been playing real good. Mo was been hurt this last season for sure. I want to say the season before that, dealing with that knee injury, but he's been playing real good. He put in a whole lot of work this summer.
Yep.
You know what they expect from Jordy and Sid. So, they've been coming on. So, and then, like, one person I always said that would be the X factor was David Day.
Oh, yeah.
Boo.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he come off the bench and he giving energy, scoring the ball, making different plays and stuff. And, as long as he's playing consistent and stuff, he's a big help off the bench. And then they got TJ as a sophomore and stuff. So they still really young because they only after this year, they're only losing 3 seniors.
Yeah.
So, and then they got the bench. They got a solid bench. And then JD just suited back up for the first time Friday. He had been out with a hip injury, and he's going to be a real huge help to him because he's an athletic wing, about 6'3", I want to say 6'3" wing that he sat out last year. He was a Montessori transfer.
Okay.
He sat out last year, and then this year he couldn't start the season off because of his hip. But once he get back in the groove and everything, he going to be a real big help to him. So they got the pieces for sure. It's just them coming in, taking every opponent serious, and being focused and not letting up, and being consistent.
I know it's a process, and you got to get to these different stages of the season. But if I put on my fan hat, I'm kind of looking forward to that potential rematch with Grand Haven.
Me too.
I know. I covered the one last year.
Me too.
With Mesquite and Grand Haven. Grand Haven got him that time,
Yep.
but Grand Haven's got a lot back too, and I think a lot of people in the area want to see that one.
Yeah.
Obviously, Reese Puffer's like, well, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah,
I think they're up and coming too, but I think right now the teams that people are really pointing at are Mesquite and Grand Haven.
Yeah, that's the game. I know they're circling that one too. So.
Well, Scott, anything else? We're hitting about an hour now, which we're trying to stay on time. We've been known to go about an hour and a half, an hour and 45 sometimes. So, Sean, anything to add? Anything out there I'm sure there's just thousands of fans still in this area that are rooting for you.
Yeah.
So, anything you want to close with or say?
I'm just saying I'm thankful everybody for all the support, especially with the clothing starting off new. The support I've been getting has been real crazy and real good, so I appreciate that. Trainings and stuff, them just putting their kids in my hands and stuff, and so and just I'm still working, still grinding, playing, ready to play. So at any moment I'll be ready to play. So just thankful for all this and thankful for this opportunity and different opportunities that I'm able to take advantage of since I've been back in while I'm not playing,
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, we're all rooting for you.
Thank you.
And so if you need the hookup on some apparel, you hit his website up, hit him up on Facebook. We'll try to drop a link in our podcast as well and make a couple posts for you there.
Got you.
And if you're looking for training, how does somebody get a hold of you? Like
Facebook.
Same way? All right.
Facebook, Instagram. I might add that to the website too, but I have a booking website too. The only reason I haven't really because I ain't want to get that going, and I get on call for having to leave and somewhere, so I kind of had fell back from it for a second. But so I just been doing it but for sure Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. How many are you mentoring? How many players are you mentoring right now? You mentioned I think you mentioned 6-7 players.
Yeah,
it's more than that, right?
Because I even start from the younger kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of people that have been starting. So it's a whole lot of them. Honestly, I could say on right now, I say. Because I just been doing weekends since the gym is so occupied during the week right now with basketball and stuff. So I just been doing weekends right now, but on the weekends I say I just been really focusing. I just do 10 to 15 players a weekend.
Yeah.
You got to wait till that auxiliary gym opens, and KG will let you have some gym time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Deshaun, we really appreciate it. You coming on the podcast. It's really, really awesome, and honestly an honor to talk to you and get to know you.
Yeah, great job on
Thank
this.
you. Thank you for having me.
So that's the CatchMark SportsNet podcast. Billy, what episode are we at? I forgot that. Zach's always got that taken care of. He might have it on the...
We're at 12 or 13 now.
Episode 13.
13 now.
Episode 13. We thank our audience and
our sponsors, too.
And our sponsors, Van Dyke Mortgage, North Grove Brewery, Shepherd and Shepherd Law, and of course CatchMark Technologies. Appreciate all those. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do this. So until next week, I'm Brent Rath with Scott DeCamp and Deshaun Thrower, and I appreciate it. And we missed Zach Zweigel this week. He's sick, so we'll be glad to have him back. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you.